Your book probably has multiple personality disorder. I know that sounds weird, but stick with me. If you've ever tried to write anything longer than a blog post, a novel, a nonfiction book, even a long series of emails, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Think about it. You write chapter 1 on a bright, sunny Tuesday. You're fueled by coffee and inspiration. The words are flowing. Your main character is witty, sharp, and optimistic. The prose is light and airy. Then, life happens. You don't get back to the book for 3 weeks. When you finally sit down to write chapter 12, it's a rainy Friday night. You're tired, a little stressed, and you've just had a long week. You start writing, and without even realizing it, your character is now cynical and brooding. Your sentences are short and choppy. The whole vibe of the book has shifted. The person who wrote chapter 1 is not the same person who wrote chapter 12, and your readers can feel it. They might not be able to put their finger on it, but they'll sense the inconsistency. It's like watching a movie where the main actor is suddenly replaced halfway through. The story is the same, but the feeling is just off. It breaks the spell. It yanks them right out of the world you worked so hard to build. For the writer, it's even worse. You get to the end of your first draft and you read it back, and it's not a cohesive book. It's a Frankenstein's monster. Gesture with your hands, like you're stitching something together haphazardly. It's stitched together from different moods, different mindsets, different versions of you. The head from your optimistic January self, the torso from your burnt-out April self, and the legs from that weirdly energetic week in July. It's a mess. And the editing process? It's a nightmare. You're trying to go back and smooth over the cracks, to force chapter 12 to sound like chapter 1. But you can't quite remember the magic. You can't recreate that initial spark. You're just painting over the problem, but the inconsistent foundation is still there. This single problem, this tonal inconsistency, is one of the biggest silent killers of great books. So what if you could solve it? What if you could create a style fingerprint for your book on day 1 and then ensure that exact same fingerprint was perfectly pressed onto every single page, from the first word to the last? Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. You hear the word AI and you immediately get a bad taste in your mouth. And this brings us to a huge myth that needs to be addressed. Myth number 1, AI is for robotic, soulless content. It can't possibly help with something as human and nuanced as writing style. This is a totally understandable fear. We think of AI, we think of bland, generic text that sounds like a corporate email. The idea of letting that thing anywhere near your unique, creative voice feels like sacrilege. But here's the paradox. The fact that AI has no soul is precisely what makes it the perfect tool for protecting the soul of your work. Think of it this way. An AI is not an author with a big ego and its own artistic opinions. It's a chameleon. It's a perfectly trained method actor. A method actor doesn't show up on set and play themselves. They study the character. They absorb the backstory, the mannerisms, the vocal tics. Their goal is to completely disappear into the role they've been given. A good AI writing platform works the same way. It's a blank slate. It's waiting for you, the director, to give it a role to play. Which leads us to the second, more insidious myth. Myth number 2. If I use AI, it will impose its own generic style onto my work and make my book sound like everyone else's. This is the fear that you'll lose what makes you unique. That your writing will be flattened into a boring, homogenized paste. And if you use AI incorrectly by just giving it simple, lazy prompts, this can absolutely happen. But if you learn to use it as a professional tool, the exact opposite is true. AI doesn't have to impose a style. It can be used to preserve and enforce your style. This is the breakthrough. This is what changes the game. The single most powerful, yet overlooked benefit of using AI in your writing process is its ability to act as your personal style guardian. Here's how it works in practice. Let's go back to our noir detective novel. You've written the first 2 chapters, and you've absolutely nailed it. The tone is perfect. Your detective, let's call him Jack, is world-weary. He speaks in short, punchy sentences. He notices the grime on the windowsills and the desperation in people's eyes. You've created the style fingerprint. Now, instead of just hoping you can remember that vibe 15 chapters from now, you take those first 2 chapters and you feed them into an AI platform designed for authors, like InstaAuthor. You create what's called a style Bible or a tone profile. You're essentially telling the AI, this right here, this is the voice of Jack. This is the rhythm of the narration. This is the soul of my book. Memorize it, become it. You are training your method actor. Now, fast forward a month. You're on chapter 20. You're tired. You're not feeling particularly noirish. You're about to write a scene where Jack walks into a dimly lit bar. Instead of just forcing it and ending up with a scene that feels out of place, you turn to your AI partner. You give it a simple prompt. Write a draft of a scene where Jack enters a bar to meet an informant. Adhere strictly to the established noir style guide. Describe the scene through his cynical and observant point of view. What you get back isn't a finished product written by a robot. It's a block of marble, perfectly carved in the style you defined a month ago. It sounds like Jack. It feels like your book. The sentences have the right rhythm. The observations are sharp and cynical. The AI didn't invent the style. It just acted as a perfect, tireless guardian of the style you already created. It held the space for your own creativity. Now, your job isn't to stare at a blank page and try to remember what chapter 1 felt like. Your job is to be the artist. You take that perfectly toned block of marble and you refine it. You add the nuance. You tweak the dialogue. You polish the prose until it gleams. You're no longer the struggling musician trying to remember the melody. You're the conductor of an orchestra, and the AI is your first chair violinist, ensuring everyone stays in perfect tune from the opening notes to the final crescendo. Suddenly, that Frankenstein's monster of a first draft is gone. In its place is a seamless, immersive, and powerfully consistent narrative that keeps your reader locked in from start to finish. You're free to take breaks. You're free to have off days, because your book's unique voice is safely stored, ready for you whenever you need it. This is a massive shift in how we can approach writing, but it is a new skill. Learning how to create these style guides, how to effectively train the AI, and how to weave it into your creative process is key. And it's something that's much easier to learn when you're surrounded by other people who are on the same journey. If you want to see how I'm actually using AI to write full books and connect with other authors doing the same thing, check out my school group. It's free to join. You'll also get access to the tool I personally use, InstaAuthor. Links are in the description. See you inside.